Welcome to my channel. Today is a Sunday. I don't work Sundays. I haven't worked Sundays ever here in 6 years at this shop. However, I cannot help this person out this week, and I'd really like to. So we're gonna spend a little time today resolving an issue for them. A few weeks ago, we put front pads, rotors, and hoses, brake hoses, on this Chrysler Town & Country. I think it's a 13. Customer complaint: brakes are squeaking after the brake job. Has never happened after any brake repair he's ever had. So let's fix it for him. This is going to be a warranty job, and what that means is no cost to him. About 2 weeks after we did the original repair, I did go ahead and test drive it for him one day. I heard it squeak about one time. He's pretty insistent that it happens very frequently. And didn't happen to me really, but he says stop and go traffic all the time. Squeak, squeak, squeak. So we're just going to put new pads and rotors on the front for him. Again, no problem. Like I said, no cost to him, warranty job. What warranty job means for me, however, is I just file a claim with Advance Auto Parts. That's who I bought the parts through. And I get paid, sort of. I get paid at a lower rate than my shop rate. I believe it's like $75 an hour versus my normal shop rate, which is much higher than that. So I get something for the time, and they do give me the parts for free. I will say their parts are pretty good. I have been using CarQuest Advance pads and rotors for the entire 6 years that I've been in business. These are their ceramic gold level pads, premium. Now, I have very, very few, if like hardly any, maybe like one every couple of years, complaints about these parts. Every once in a while we'll get like a rotor that's like warped out of the box. Could be from someone dropping it in transit, I don't know. I've only had 1 or 2 noise complaints on these parts over the life, so take that for what it's worth. Life of my business. Take that for what it's worth, but they're good quality parts. The gold pads most of the time come in a ceramic and a semi-metallic version. The part number GNAD, that's the ceramic version. GM, like Mary, KD is the metallic version. I don't use that hardly ever unless it's the only option, or in some cases it was like specified as factory, but say 90% of my brake jobs are with these parts. The rest are like much higher, more OE type quality parts like Techstar, those kind of brands from Worldpac, which are more OE, like on European stuff, BMWs, things like that. So thumbs up for those parts. I'm going to replace these brakes. I'll take some little videos here as I'm doing it, but pulling it into the shop, I heard it squeak like kind of one time at maybe 2 or 3 miles an hour, slowing down to get into the shop. It was a very small squeak, but like I said, warranty job. Some payment comes to me as a credit on my shop account, but I don't like make money on this. Plus, I'm here on a Sunday, which I normally would not be, but I'd really want to get this guy taken care of because I just can't do it. Can't do it this week. We're too busy otherwise. But that's what you got to do sometimes for customers, you know, when you own your own business, or if you work at a small business, you just have to take care of them. That's kind of the whole point of being a small business owner. So here we go. All right, this is the driver's side, wheel off. These two are 13s that hold the bulk of the caliper on. That is a crack, like a chip out of the piston. It's going to be a ceramic style piston. That's not necessarily, you know, that's not going to be our cause, but it's not brand new. First pass, no weird wear. Rotor surface looks acceptable. I couldn't even tell which side the noise was coming from. Slide pins are free. So basically we're just going to pull the bracket off with these 21 here, 21 here. New pads. Just clean up this hardware because it's brand new. I mean, it's been in there for like a few hundred miles. Unless I see something wrong with that. But I mean, they're easily sliding around in there, so shouldn't be any problem with that. I'll just push back this piston a little bit with piston compressor. Should be enough. Barely any was missing from here, I'm sure. And I'll slap these new parts on, and then we'll move to the other side. So I'm on the passenger side now. These are all the new parts back together. These two outer clips, slide hardware, whatever you want to call them. I had a little bit of difficult time after wire brushing them, getting my new pad in them. Just a little bit more friction than I had hoped for. You won't really see me doing this often. Here again, Southern Cars, I feel like we don't need to be doing this, is greasing the crap out of everything. I put a tiny bit of brake grease on the slides just to help them out. That reduced the friction just a little bit, just a tiny bit. You will see people smearing like brake grease all over this stuff. The only place we use brake grease here in our shop in normal circumstances is these slide pins. I did that to all 4 of these on this car again, just so they move very freely. Now I'm going to throw my caliper on there and finish up the job. Putting my final bolts in. I can tighten them up. These do have nuts on this side. If those start to spin when you're tightening here, you will have to back them up with like a low profile wrench normally. If it's like able to be tightened without doing that, then you don't have to do it. See, I was not moving and I tightened that down pretty good. Okay, so that's 2 bolts there. These two 21s I already tightened. Did not flip the caliper around backwards and twist up our line. That was part of our original repair. The lines just did not look to be in good condition when it was here last time. We had suspected the brakes were dragging due to maybe like the line being pinched or clogged or something, because the calipers retracted, you know, totally normally and functioned well. So we did this last time just as a matter of trying to resolve the problem that he was having before, just based on their condition and because the calipers looked fine. So now I will get my wheels back on, wrap up. Here are the 2 clips. that we're having some issue, maybe because they're aftermarket clips, not sure. I cannot really see a ton wrong with these pads that would cause like a squeaking. There's a very minor like chip out of one of these. This was on the passenger side. Doubt that was it, but being a very intermittent squeak noise, I mean, there's not really a ton I can tell. I mean, this still even has like the cross hatching on the rotor from machining. Yeah, not sure what the cause was, but it bothered the customer, and the customer is normally right. Let's say that. Normally right. The way that warranty works, again, no pay for the customer. I'm just going to get him his keys back and he'll be good to go. I send these parts back to my supplier. I file a claim. They pay some small warranty amount to me as a credit. They take these parts, return them to whoever they bought them from, I think, in most cases. Sometimes those companies will inspect. Sometimes like this, they'll probably just chuck them and take my word for it. But most of the time, yeah, they go back to the manufacturer to see if there was some defect or something. In this case, with something very nearly hard to even tell what was going on, I think they'll just trash them and give me the credit, and that's fine. Brings me to a point, I have plenty of customers who are at a different shop, have a problem, take it back to them, there's back and forth, the shop doesn't want to do it, whatever, even though they're within some warranty period. I don't get why shops do that. It's not right for the customer, and you're getting paid some amount, you know, to do this job again. So, and the parts are free, so you're really just taking up a little extra time that, you know, you wouldn't have had to do normally, but it's the right thing to do. So, case in point, a couple months ago, Honda Civic 2.4 liter 4-cylinder, this guy come in, oil pan was leaking. He had just had it repaired at another shop using a Felpro gasket. I could tell where the like corners of like where the timing cover meets the block, they didn't silicone it like correctly, and that's not too hard to do. It's not too hard to mess up on a Honda. So it was leaking right out of there, and I'm like, hey, just send it back to them. They should do it, no problem. It's like an hour oil pan. Well, they gave him some hassle, and he had to go back and forth. He told me they weren't being cooperative. I'm like, I don't understand why. They're getting paid for the job. So I'm like consulting this guy how to talk to the other repair shop. And finally they did it, but it took him multiple phone calls and like a trip or two over there, and it sounded like it was pretty annoying for him. But when the shop won't warranty something for you, or it's a real big hassle, maybe don't go there anymore. I don't know. But that's how warranty works. I hope you enjoyed this. Learning a little bit about warranties and how to help customers out. We will see you next time. Thank you.